Wilkesboro, North Carolina to watch a race. They haven't raced there in many, many years. Come with us and make some memories.
Let's do this.
The history of North Wilkesboro Speedway kind of runs parallel to the history of NASCAR. Now there's some phenomenal videos already on YouTube from great creators about the history of NASCAR, so I won't go too deep into that, and so I'll put some links in the description below. NASCAR was basically founded by gentlemen who were bootleggers, and they wanted to see whose car could be the fastest, so they put some ingenuity into fixing up their cars to run faster and ran races together. Well, North Wilkesboro was built in 1946 by moonshiners. It's a 5/8 mile track. It was a NASCAR original when NASCAR first started in 1949, and it became a North Carolina legend. But before it became a legendary NASCAR track, Wilkes County in North Carolina, where obviously North Wilkesboro Speedway is located, was called the Moonshine Capital of America. Why? Just the circumstances of the economy at the time pushed people into selling liquor. The Great Depression had made it almost impossible to make profit from farming, and hey, the Appalachians make it easy to hide liquor stills. North Wilkesboro is located in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. A famous NASCAR driver named Benny Parsons has a quote saying, "Trust me, there was nothing to do in the mountains of North Carolina back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. You either worked at a mill or a furniture factory, or you made whiskey." And so the idea of NASCAR was basically born of these who could have the fastest car, and one of these was Junior Johnson. Junior Johnson grew up hauling his father's whiskey through the Blue Ridge Mountains. And Junior Johnson won his first race at North Wilkesboro. Believe it or not, freshly released from prison after serving a sentence for running moonshine. So a local businessman named Enoch Stanley had attended a race that had been organized by Bill France Sr., and he decided to build his own track. So in 1945, along with some partners, they purchased farmland near North Wilkesboro to begin building the track. It was completed in 1946, and the first official race was a Bill France promoted modified race held May 18, 1947. And it was a bootlegger, Fonty Flock, who won the race. It was an overwhelming success. And Bill France held a meeting in North Wilkesboro with Enoch Stanley and other track owners to discuss the creation of an association to sanction and promote stock car racing. They met again in Daytona, and they created the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, or NASCAR. So North Wilkesboro's NASCAR debut came on October 16, 1949. Unfortunately, over time, the NASCAR crowds and TV contracts outgrew North Wilkesboro Speedway. The sport got bigger and faster, and the track found itself very ill-equipped to support the next generation. The track's final cup race was in 1996. It had a brief revival in 2010, but the track had been unused for 20 years. Then on Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022, for the first time in over 20 years, there was a race held at North Wilkesboro. Now, we couldn't attend the Tuesday race, but we went to the Wednesday race. So Wednesday, August 3rd, we attended the second race at North Wilkesboro, and it was a blast. Why is Wilkesboro so important?
Well, North Wilkesboro was one of the very first tracks ever to be created for the NASCAR calendar. There in 1948, first season, as a dirt track, it evolved into an asphalt track and represented a lot of what built the sport: the families, the culture, the regions, and the short track racing action. Unfortunately, in pursuit of bigger and better, in the 1990s, NASCAR ditched the racetrack in its entirety and left it abandoned in 1996. From there, the track decayed for a while, but was pretty well upkept. There was one brief little revival in 2013, but ever since then, it has been abandoned and was totally written off as never coming back. Until Dale Earnhardt Jr., iRacing, everybody got the excitement back up, and Marcus Smith and the entire group decided, hey, we're gonna go racing here again. And for the entire month of August and October, there will be short track racing at the facility. I wasn't able to go to the first race last night. We had another prior obligation, but tonight we're going to see Wilkesboro back in action for the first time since 2013.
Like the retro look?
Yes.
What do you like about it?
Preserves the feeling of the old racetrack.
Start the race. Who are we rooting for?
Well, obviously we're rooting for Bobby the Bonnie.
Bobby Bonnie, who is in the cookout car number
25.
25.
Yep, so he'll be up this direction towards the front. And also cheering for Ryan Priest in the 40 car.
Ryan Priest in the 40. He's the Hunt Brothers pizza car.
Quick break, you can head with throttle roll. And then you want to get allowing to move back to the hollow ground. That car.
Yep, right there at the end, lost second, but oh well. Got Ryan Priestman and Bobby Lonnie finished third, fourth, so not too bad.
What did you think of the racing?
It was pretty good. The track's a little too wore out. Definitely needs to repave because the tire fall off's a little extreme and made it so that the racing wasn't incredible, but was really good, especially at the start. At first, 20 laps were awesome. So, but so cool to see Wilkesboro back in action. A ton of people there. Just really cool.
Yeah, we had a couple of spinouts, but other than that, the cars were pretty planted to the ground. They did a great job. I'm very impressed with Wilkesboro. They put on a great show. They had tons of vendors there and lots of food and drinks, and I'm excited to see where they go with it.
Yep, can't wait for NASCAR to bring a truck race or something there. That would be really, really